What's up, everybody? I'm Greg Goldner alongside my eco expert Colette Brooks, and we are back. The Green Room is back for season 2.
Amazing.
Awesome. Well, we got a killer show for you today. We're going to replace your lawnmowers with sheep. That's
Not bad.
That's like what you did there. A little corny, but we'll roll with it. And then later in the show, we are going to show you a man who jumped in the ocean to save one of the craziest and wildest, most dangerous animals on the planet.
Whoa, an eco diver.
Yep.
Before we do that, we're going to go into the green room with your friend and millennial expert, Chelsea Cross, who is going to tell us why green is so important to her generation.
Let's do it. How about that old saying, the grass is always greener, right?
The grass is always green.
And this is one of my favorite segments. This is where we get to touch on a couple people, companies, situations, stories, whatever, where people are going that extra mile to be green. So first and foremost, we mentioned it in the intro to the show, people are ditching their lawnmowers and they're going with sheeps and goats. Sheep. Whatever.
Sheep,
Octopus,
cheap
octopuses,
sheeps.
who knows?
Yeah.
Sheeps and goats. What are your thoughts on that? Sheep, goats, are they're lawnmowers now or what?
I have a personal story about that.
Bring it. What do you got?
You know I've got goats.
I do know that.
And goats and sheep, both, you can rent a herd and they clear hillsides for fire abatement. And they're doing it right here in Los Angeles, where there's fire hazard, Malibu, wherever. My goats will have none of it. No. My
You
goats
got
are like
defective
my
goats.
goats are like, no. Can we have like the prepared pellets and you can throw in some fruit and stuff? We really don't like hillsides. It's not our thing. I know.
Your goats shop at Whole Foods.
The goats shop at Whole Foods. So it's there, and I don't think it's a certain breed of goat, but I just don't think all goats are down. Mine aren't.
So you don't think that this is a gimmick? This is something that's going to be here to stay, or is it
Oh.
kind of like, oh, hey, come to my house, see my goats? They're mowing my lawn.
No, it's not a gimmick at all. It's actually more expensive to hire a herd of goats than to have somebody come with, whether it's human-powered or machine-powered for fire abatement, because they're there for, depending upon how much property you have, could be 2 weeks, and you have a whole herd.
And it's eco. Speaking of eco,
Totally eco.
recent study tells us that women are more attracted to men with eco cars than they are to fast cars nowadays. How the tides have changed. Thoughts?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So a man in a Leaf versus a man in a Ferrari. What about a man on a bike? Hot. Sorry, so hot. A man without a car. That's really hot. I get it, because the eco car is a conscious status symbol, and it
Right.
says something about the person or the driver that they don't have to try so hard and they've got nothing to prove. So it's
Well, in this study, they had women use buzzwords that they thought that described men with eco cars, and conscious was one of them, intelligent and safe.
all right.
It's good,
Okay,
right?
that's really good.
So
Happy to hear it.
moving on, we're going to go inside the green room in a little bit with my friend Chelsea, who is a millennial expert. But there's one millennial right now who's doing a lot of really big things, and especially in the eco space, Lauren Conrad. Remember her from the show The Hills,
Yes.
Laguna
Yes,
Beach,
yes,
right?
yes, yes. What's
Well,
she doing?
so she partnered up with this brand Blue Avocado to come out with Blue Avocado XO, which is an entire sustainable lifestyle product line.
Oh.
They've got over 20 products in the line, and you see some of the video here of her describing the products. There's 20 on the go: food, travel, cosmetic storage, accessories, lunch bags, tote bags, makeup cases, all available at Amazon.
So she sort of screened and vetted these products.
Correct.
So she's done the legwork, and all you have to do is buy them and feel good about it.
What are your thoughts on someone like her, someone who was a reality star, now going the eco route?
Well, she's obviously transformed herself, and there is more substance than just the typical reality fare. So good on her. I mean, that she's somebody of influence,
Right.
and she's carrying an important message. So if she can influence more people to make conscious purchasing decisions and become conscious consumers, all the better.
Well, and what's interesting is I want to ask you a question, but I'm going to wait till we go inside the green room with Chelsea, because Lauren Conrad is the definition, in my opinion, of a millennial hustler. And Chelsea is too, and we are millennials, we are eco, and Lauren Conrad is continuing to raise the bar. So coming up next, we're gonna go inside the green room with Chelsea, and we're gonna talk all about millennials and green.
Can't wait.
Welcome to our home away from home.
Action!
When I came here, I discovered I could write.
I found the confidence to share my poetry, and now they're songs.
I got away from the trouble in my neighborhood.
Come check us out.
At the Pico Youth and Family Center.
Join us.
Or volunteer. Together, we can change our world.
That's a wrap.
All right, it is time we welcome Chelsea Cross inside the green room. You've seen her on the Today Show. She's written books. She's been on Anderson Cooper, CNN, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on.
Blah, blah, blah.
I say it as
Now
though-
I'm here in the green room.
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about. And we're lucky to have you here. You are a millennial lifestyle expert. You talk a lot of green. You talk millennial all the time. First and foremost, I want to say that for the first time in a long time, we're having the right conversation. Because conversations are always had about millennials. Conversations are always had about green. It's not often that you get green and millennials together to actually talk about this. So I'm pumped.
Definitely.
First questions first. Or go ahead, you got a comment.
You see it just brewing. How does one become a millennial eco expert?
That's such a great question. And I wouldn't say that I'm a millennial eco expert. I started my first radio talk show when I was 16 years old. At that time in my life, I felt that there was no positive platform, just like what you were talking about, no positive platform for the millennial generation. At that time, the millennial term didn't even exist, so we were just the teenagers that were the demise of the future. And it was the time where Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie and Lindsay Lohan, they were on every single magazine cover because they were anorexic or doing drugs or getting DUIs. And I said, this is not the information that us growing teenagers need to be bombarded with. Of course it exists, but we need to be filled with positive things, motivating things, and things that we actually need to know to grow into successful individuals. So that just really, sparked my interest in putting together a platform for millennials so I created a local AM radio talk show, and we talked about everything and anything: body image, bullying, nutrition, STDs, teen pregnancy, eco-friendly, giving back, you name it. I've talked about it, and it's just developed into such a beautiful career.
And so I guess the biggest question is why are we as millennials so green?
Yeah.
More than any other generation, why do you think we're so green?
Well, my generation created the mess. And you guys
And you don't hear a lot of baby boomers or Gen Xers admitting that.
No.
Because they think we're the mess.
No.
We wanted to tell you this actually isn't the green room, this is self-help.
That's
Step one.
No, we created the mess, and a few of us, of course, gained a bit of consciousness during that whole drama and said, wait a minute, what can we do about this, because you guys are inheriting it.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, your question really spirals into a lot of the myths or the stereotypes regarding our generation. We're entitled, we're lazy, we're narcissistic, we don't really care about anything, we're couch surfers. Okay, within every generation you have the people who are slackers, but then you have the people that are hustlers. Right. And unfortunately, we just always focus on the negative things regarding the millennial generation. People don't talk about how the millennials are the most open-minded generation thus far. We're the most liberal, we're the most giving, we're the most philanthropic, and we're really interested in how to preserve our planet. Right. Hey, we have a lot of time left on this planet. We might as well make it better. So I was just in New York 2 weeks ago at Adweek, working with Cosmopolitan magazine, and Cosmopolitan was, forward thinking about putting together this millennial panel of how brands can attract the millennial consumer. And one of the leading statistics shows that if you have a brand and you attach it to a philanthropic initiative or a Go Green initiative, millennials are more interested in being a part of your brand.
And there was some research that said, and I'll read a couple of these off, research that said exactly that. It talked about slogans for brands or companies and in going after millennials with that. Things like, if you're cold, put a sweater on instead of turning on the heat. That can save gas, electricity, et cetera, et cetera. Cutting back on 2 minutes of showering could save 10 gallons of water. Those are the things that get us as millennials. And I mean, you're in the ad world. Yeah. Talk about this.
And those are doable things.
Right.
They're not lofty propositions. They're doable things that your generation really take to heart and say, you know what, I could do this and it's not going to cost me money because I don't have deep pockets, but this is something that I can do to to make a better life.
And I think the Go Green, the eco-friendly term, has a drastic vision around it. Like, oh, I have to be a tree hugger or a hippie or a granola head. No, you don't. You just need to take some initiative. I was doing very simple research before our show today, and I saw that a few things that I really didn't know. Coca-Cola, being that you're in the advertising world, they have this 60 by 60 billboard, and it's made with tea plants. And what the tea plants do is that they absorb carbon dioxide and air pollution, and they use over 3,000 of these plants. And it's amazing the air pollution statistics of how much just one billboard can reduce air pollution. Coca-Cola, major brand that millennials can obviously choose.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, unplugging a lot of things when you go to sleep, like, you know, when you go to sleep and your printer light's still on, your cell phone's still blinking, all of those LED lights putting energy waste. You could save up to $200 by unplugging your stuff. Millennials, we need to save money.
Get the power strip and hit, you know.
Exactly.
Hit off.
And here's another quick fact for us. A recent survey found that 76% of millennials said it matters to them, so it matters to us, that the product they were buying is green and eco. And once we find that, we're loyal to that.
Well, and I think it's important, and I think because you are such an educated generation, when you say a product is green, you're looking at the upcycle and downcycle pipeline of that product. How is it made? What are the manufacturing practices? And then what is the disposal of that product? What is the entire life cycle? What's going to happen to it once you're done? Because everything is made for obsolescence. So really looking at all of that and considering that in your purchase is really what you guys are doing. But it's almost like you were born doing that. It's almost
like Lady Gaga, we were born this way.
Well, yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Well,
Kinda
social
like
media allows you to really invest in a brand and get to know more about a brand. Like, I love Origins. My mom's been using it. My grandma's been using it forever. But Origins just came out with a new launch. It's called Smarty Plants. And Emmy Rossum just joined their campaign to help the initiative. They're attaching themselves with Charity Water, which is bringing clean water to underprivileged countries. And they're creating a great initiative. You donate $30. The first 1,000 people who do it, Origin is going to match it. $30 alone helps someone in Ethiopia have clean drinking water for 10 years. So these types of initiatives that millennials are so ready to jump on board with.
Well, Origins is going green, millennials, we're green. You're staying on with us for the rest of the show.
Staying.
We're holding you here hostage. All right, coming up next after this quick PSA, we are going to go green.
Hey, slow down.
Right next to the library on 7th Street is the Santa Monica History Museum, where history comes to life for the entire family. Enjoy the exhibits, main gallery, the photo archive, research gallery, and much more. Come visit the Santa Monica History Museum, keeping history alive.
It's only fitting, since we are talking about millennials, we have Chelsea here, that we continue the discussion kind of about millennials, but Going Green is going to be here about green colleges and colleges going green. This is amazing, and I'm just going to rattle some of this off. So you and I have talked before, but colleges are offering now green courses, but colleges themselves are actually going green. Tufts University offers local produce in their cafeteria. They've also switched to all their lights out to TFL. And this one's great. University of New Hampshire, 85% of their energy needs runs off landfill gas.
That's amazing.
So let's talk about this for a little bit. I mean, this is a big step, isn't it?
It's a huge step, and I think the college campuses transforming to green practices sets an example. I think they're also competing, some of them are competing for, top tier students who will pay full boat, and in their consideration set, in the students' consideration set, what is the campus doing? Are they eco-friendly? Particularly if they're going to be living on campus in dorms, is it an eco-friendly environment? So I think it attracts potential students. And then I also think in terms of the college courses and the curriculum, it is such a burgeoning industry, green, across so many different categories, and it's such a wide spectrum that the course offerings are going to reflect what's happening in the marketplace, whether it's solar installation or environmental sciences, from the ocean to CO2 sequestering and capturing.
So So let me ask you this, Chelsea. You're 17 years old. You're in high school. You're looking at colleges. Is the fact that one college is green and one college isn't weighing on your mind at all?
You know,
or making a difference?
I think that for some people, yes. I think it's definitely a plus. Like for me personally, when I was applying to colleges, I was making sure that they had a great study abroad program. Everyone has their specific something that they want to make sure has at their campus. I remember in high school we had a recycle club. So now it's going from just a club or a hobby to really becoming this lifestyle like campus. So I think also, you know, one of the positives to campuses doing this is it's grooming a lifestyle. You're coming out of your household, you're really maturing, you're living on your own. If you're living on campus or if you're active on campus, it's only going to help you set a good path for being go green and eco-friendly for the rest of your life, hopefully.
Man, I feel like it's an underachiever. I just wanted to go to college where there was good sports. I should have taken this stuff into consideration.
You know, being a millennial and having a millennial platform, I speak to so many incredible young people, and they blow my mind. And it makes me so angry sometimes is when I see all the negative things regarding our generation, and I keep meeting these go-getters, and they make me feel like I'm even lazy. And I know that I should be proud of my bio, but they make me feel lazy. And so many of them are going into engineering, and I mean, having an eco-friendly lifestyle on campus just goes so hand in hand with engineering. Millennials were more entrepreneurial than ever, and think about the wave of the future. Go green, eco-friendly. If you can create a business concept or a model that has a go green or eco-friendly influence, that much more golden.
Well, you know who was a very eco go-getter? Caught green-handed. This is one of my favorite segments. This guy right here. We've got video of this. A man in Florida, he's on a charter fishing, right? On a charter fishing boat. And he catches a bull shark. Bull sharks are literally the most dangerous animal in the water.
What do you mean? They're so friendly.
Yeah, right. Anyways, you swim with them. Let us know how it goes. So anyway, so they catch a bull shark. They reel it in. The shark's not. They take the hook out, and they realize the shark's not moving. This is a guy in Florida. So what does he do? He jumps in the water with a 300-pound bull shark to try and start shaking, getting the water going through the gills again. How eco are you, and how environmentally conscious are you that you jump in the water with a bull shark who could just eat you alive just to make sure it's okay?
So to
That's extreme.
resuscitate
The bull shark.
this shark so that he can continue living and potentially eat him.
Okay, so what's the
Wow.
what's the mindset now? I mean, it's obviously a huge culture shift because 50 years ago, would anyone have jumped in the water with any kind of shark, nonetheless a bull shark? Probably not.
But is there, you know, one other element? Is there a penalty for killing a bull shark because they're endangered today? So, I mean, he could have had lots of motives, but, I mean, that's an extreme case of eco-friendly spirit.
It's the
Animal
animal
wellness.
welfare.
Yeah.
It's the animal welfare piece.
Yeah.
So it's animal welfare, or there may be penalties because it may be endangered. I'm not sure, but that's pretty intense.
I know.
I just-
Kudos
really
to
intense.
that guy for
Yeah.
hopping in the water.
It's really intense.
I just heard a major marketing statistic that if you align a marketing campaign with an animal, it's that much more successful. I mean, and I'm a sucker for every time I walk down the aisle and I see Dawn soap and they have the animals on the soap.
Me from Saved by the Bell days when Zach's cleaning off the.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, well, we're gonna go to a quick break, but when we come back, Colette's favorite segment, the You Don't Know Green. This is when you get to go on a rant. We'll sit back, we'll get some popcorn, and we'll enjoy the show.
Hey Mom, yes I'm home. Saved you some dinner.
Plan now for a major earthquake. Contact the Santa Monica Office of Emergency Management. Don't be caught in the dark.
All right, well, Chelsea and I don't have popcorn, but we are going to sit back and enjoy this show. I'm going to hand it over to you for your favorite segment. Do it.
Oh, you don't know green. Okay, so there is a rant today. One of my biggest pet peeves is, and I don't want to call out names, but I'm going to call out names. On one hand, thank you, Whole Foods, for putting in charging stations at most of your stores. It's awesome because when you drive an electric vehicle like I do, you oftentimes, when you're commuting around, you need to boost. And so you can go into Whole Foods while you're shopping and you can park in these designated spaces that say electric vehicles only. There's a charger there, you boost, and then you can get home.
And then you go to the salad bar, and then you walk out of the salad bar and you realize you spent all the money you were going to pay for your car on the salad bar, and now the car doesn't. No, it's not where you're going with it.
Or the $10 jar of cured olives, raw cured olives. There's that.
Okay, please.
But, so you're really excited. You've got to do your shopping. You've got it all set up, and there is, well, I've got a photo of it.
All right.
There's a Corvette parked. Now, a Corvette is not an electric vehicle. It is the antithesis of electric vehicle.
Gas
or a
guzzler.
Hummer. Exactly. Parked in the EV-only parking spot.
Okay, so what is Whole Foods supposed to do? Or are you saying they're not supposed to do anything?
It is incumbent upon the driver to A, see, because they're driving, and B, to be conscious enough to go, oh, that isn't for me.
Is there a
Oftentimes
fine?
There's no fine. There isn't any, and I wish there
So
was
there's no
some sort of a
incentive
penalty.
to really not
exactly.
park there.
So whether they're completely unconscious or they're just thinking, well, I'll just be there for a minute. So I caught somebody green-handed, which was so awesome the other day as I'm pulling in and she was getting out of her Lexus, and I beat my horn. I actually got out of my car. I went, no, no, no. And she looked at me like, what? And I pointed to the sign. She sheepishly got back in her car and pulled out. Shame, shame, shame. Everybody was looking at her, and I pulled in. And I don't think she'll ever do that again. But to do it, I mean, if there was some sort of a fine or penalty.
Like, you don't park in a handicap.
Exactly.
But
that's exactly the model.
Yeah.
So,
and I also think a lot of people don't know that those spots exist. I drive a non-electric car, and I really have never seen that sign.
Right.
But now
it's because
I'm
you
gonna
just moved out from New York. That's
Yeah.
why.
That's true.
But now that you're out on the West Coast, you're going to see them
so
more often.
whether it's bigger signs or a fine or something like that, Whole Foods.
Well, and also the personal accountability. You got to have personal accountability.
Yeah.
That's it for the show.
Wow.
That's
a
it.
wrap.
Yeah. Well, we've gone very green.
Favorite part of the show. What do you got?
Yeah. This one right
she's
here.
good.
Yeah.
Thank
you're
you.
awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really, really great.
That's all I got. That's the show.
You
That's
got a
it.
lot. All right.
All
Well,
right.
this is pretty good. Number 1 for the new season.
I like it. I
Love
like
it.
it. I'm Greg Goldner.
Colette Brooks.
We're out.